Hey guys, Tyrant Cream 6472 here, and today I wanted to talk about why I fear the Tetsuo's Games mission in Red Steel. This occurred last night and later at 8 AM, and I think you might find out why if you have played the mission yourself. If however you have not played the mission yourself, there will be spoilers for this mission. So it is probably best that you stop watching the video if you have not yet played the mission to Tetsuo's Games. If you did play the mission before watching this video however, you are good to go. Also, one last thing before I start is that some of you actually found my nightmare interesting and some of you actually felt bad for me about the nightmare. I'd like to give shoutouts to Esper Moon, Atlas Production, and my character Michael for feeling bad about my nightmare. If you want to check out their channels, the links are in the description. With all of that out of the way, here is how a mission from a game that came out in 2006 scared me. The first part is not that bad. It's just me going through a building until I reach the rooftop and engage in a sword duel. Yes, there were enemies, but I usually spared them by using the focus system and making them surrender, since you need to spare as many enemies as possible to earn more skills. I was at a respect level of 5 when I played the mission, when the recommended level was 3. So I had access to all of the special moves, 2 sword katas and an upgrade to my sword that increased damage by 25%. You may think that I could go through the stage no problem, since Red Steel literally feels like a James Bond game. But that is not the case, because Scott takes more damage than Bond, and body armor does not take long to break. Although Red Steel has body armor in more spots than in any of Bond's video games, probably to make it so you actually have a chance. But I digress. The second part of the mission is where things started to get scary. I went into the mission with a P99, so that way I could have a way to remind myself that I am playing what feels like a Japanese Bond game. But when I loaded into the second section, they took the P99 away alongside my sword. Sure, there is a vending machine that dispenses a pistol and a broken sword, but none of the enemies use a P99 at any point. Also, before anyone comments, the broken sword is part of the swordplay in Red Steel that was sadly absent from the sequel. A mannequin, before you enter the arena, holds your sword. This may seem like a small jump scare, but you will learn to fear them later on. The arena has no power and has some goons to deal with, but once you beat the arena, human versions of the mannequins start running past you. This may result in you wasting a shot just to try and get someone that vanishes into thin air once they go off screen. And wasting bullets is the last thing you want to do if you are going for the best rank in every level. Once you get into an elevator with no power, you will come across a monitor room with a mannequin holding a pistol. This actually scared me a bit, because I thought it was an enemy. The monitor room, however, is a dead end, and when you leave, the vending machine moves on its own to reveal a hallway full of waving mannequins. When you get near the door to open it, a trapdoor opens and you fall into a room full of mannequins with goons that look like the mannequins. This room got me good, because I had no idea what was an enemy and what was an inanimate object. But immediately afterwards was a maze in the dark with animatronic bunnies guiding the way. This may not seem that bad, but there are goons that blend in with the dark. This section scared the heck out of me, because I could not tell where any of the goons were until it was too late. Thankfully, the power can be restored immediately afterwards. But the fact that a room like that got into a game where you do not get night vision goggles makes it terrifying. The Rabbids reference that this mission has does not help matters. After that, you have to return to the arena and make it back to the ski lift while dealing with explosive bunnies and snipers. There is a detour when you get back to the top of the hill that you do not have to make, but if you do, you not only get 2 grenades but also a checkpoint. But even if you make the detour, you have to deal with more mannequin-looking goons in an area with barely any cover. I died 12 times before I managed to activate the sword fight. And when I did, I had to fight 2 swordsmen disguised as skiers in black. They were not a problem and I was able to make it to the third part of the mission. But at the third part, you get faked out into thinking you have to get the key within a time limit. I honestly think that was a cheap jump scare. Immediately after the Arctic section was an on-rails section, where I had to blow up 3 exploding bunnies before they hit the vehicle, otherwise it's an instant game over. Once I got to the SWAT section, I had to get a key again, but this time I had to find it in an egg. Just getting it terrified me, because not only did the eggs kind of look like something out of an alien movie, but opening them was also disgusting, and a goon could be hiding in the egg. Granted, you have to shoot the eggs, meaning you can open them from a distance, but that does not make it any less disturbing. And when I did find the key, I had to fight a red swordsman and a blue swordsman before the level is over. Although I managed to beat them and complete the mission. I thankfully got the samurai rank when I beat the mission, because honestly that mission was something that was too much to deal with. And they never gave back the P99 when I finished the mission, so that was not helping matters at all. But anyway, that is why I fear the mission Dead Cells games in Red Steel. Now, if you don't mind me, I gotta chill out before I start the Tokulau 3 melee only run, since that mission may have given me nightmares.